Good morning. My name is Sophocles Mitsos. I'm cardiothoracic surgeon and chief medical officer of Pleioflow company, which is a early-stage startup company specialized in cardiovascular devices that is based in United Kingdom, but with offices also in Germany and Greece. We are here today because we are in 2024 and we are still not managing well the organ perfusion in cardiac surgery. While patient is on heart-lung machine, 100,000 of patients sustain severe damage to the renal kidneys. And this resulting to a stunning 8 billion extra healthcare cost. Now, our company introducing a new flow assist device, a must-have device for any type of cardiac surgery that is going to transform the way the patients are operating and establishing a unique and globally competitive position. Independent research tells us that every 2 minutes, one cardiac surgery patient in westernized world sustain at least moderate to severe damage, renal damage. And this associated with twofold higher risk of death, 50% higher risk of risk infection, 100% to sustain protracted high intensive care unit and hospital stay, and 2 to 5% chance to develop permanent renal damage requiring hemodialysis. This is a huge burden for the healthcare system. On top of that, there is another 15% of the total cardiac surgery population that they are going to experience at least mild renal damage. The average healthcare cost impact for all these patients is at the rate of 16K per patient that in the subset of hemodialysis requiring, this is going to succeed more than 400K per patient. So we're discussing for an enormous multi-billion market that is grow every year because all of our patients become elderly, more fragile, and more complex. And you can ask yourself, why? What we can do for this patient? What is happening with this high-risk patient? And the answer is nothing. There is no way to prevent the renal damage to this patient. We don't have any renal protective strategy or intervention in order to prevent this to happen to this high-risk population. And we know who are that patient. And we know that because we have score like Cleveland risk factor score that can predict the chance of developing either renal damage or requiring hemodialysis. But we have nothing to done about these patients. And why this is happening? It's happening only to the cardiac surgery? The answer is no, but in cardiac surgery we have low pressure and also the flow is not pulsatile. The body needs a pressure of 70 millimeters of mercury to live. In cardiac surgery, the blood pressure while the patient is on heart-lung machine is only 50 to 60. And that is the reason that we freeze the body to have the blood temperature below the normal temperature. And why this is happening? The body has a specific way to manage and regulate the blood pressure. For example, if the body needs to send more blood to the brain and less to the legs in order to prevent a stroke, this is happening as the brain arteries will dilate it, while the legs arteries will constrict. But while the patient is in any type of surgery that requires general anesthesia, this mechanism is totally abolished, and all the vessels are dilated and the pressure are very low. The best way to understand this is to imagine that you live in the top floor of a multi-story building, and all the people who are below you, they have opened the water taps. You don't get even a water of drop in your apartment. And how can you resolve that? With a booster valve. And that is exactly what Pleioflow device is doing. It's a catheter-based balloon booster that we introduce in the context of every surgery with a low blood pressure, but especially in cardiac surgery because we have low blood pressure and non-pulsatile pressure. As you can see in the graph in the right, our device makes an extra miles and it manages to create a pulsatile flow and also to increase the blood pressure. And how is this happening? Our device is a combination of pulsatile balloon and a disruptive technology of a low-profile valve that is in the top of the balloon. This valve, unlike all the other transcatheter valves, is only 3 millimeters in diameter, very, very small. As the balloon inflates, the valve is closed, the pressure is going to be increased, and we create a pulse wave towards the whole circulatory system, and mostly to the brain, to the kidneys, and the bowel, which are the more vulnerable organs. Here you can see the image from a monitor from a patient. You can see that there is no pulse, and this is because the patient is on heart-lung machine, and you can see that this pulsative wave is the result of our device. And it is stunning that this booster pulse wave is created by this 3 millimeter device that is half of all the other flow assist device that is current in the market. We are already in a first-in-human clinical trial. That this trial is going to enroll 40 patients, which is one of the highest proportion of patients enrolled in a pilot study. And this is happening because the notifying body and competent authorities has been convinced that there is no any other treatment option for this patient. We have challenging primary endpoints for safety and hemodynamics performance. We are targeting for high-risk patients that, according to Cleveland risk factor and to pre-existing acute kidney function, they're at high risk to develop renal damage. We have done 7 patients until now. All the patients have more than 80 millimeters pressure, with pulsatile flow, and they have the baseline renal kidney function. Astonishing results, as we say, 100% technical success, 100% efficiency success with pulsatile flow, and 100% success by achieving all the patients to have the baseline renal function at discharge, which is the same with when the patient is going to be discharged. We expected that our device was going to redefine the cardiac surgery flow management, and there has a broad clinical applicability to more than 1 billion patient market. All the operation, there is more than 100,000 sites in Western world that cardiac surgery operation take place by experienced surgeons that they don't need special training in order to use our device. It has been described as a must-have device by 100% of key opinion leaders in the United States and Kingdom, as there is no any other device to address the same clinical need. And we have a clear reimbursement pathway. Our company has already raised $7 million and would like to raise another $15 million. And the reason for that is we like to complete our clinical study and to obtain the CE mark in the Europe, also to obtain the FDA breakthrough designation and have access to the USA market, and of course, and to expand our infrastructure. So, as we say, our device is targeting to an enormous 1 million patient market. And here is our device, a 3 mm flow assist device, a new technology that we are hoping that is going to transform the way that we operate in the patients. Thank you very much.